Hey guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, so if you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Heroes Advent, Cody's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, guys. We were slaving away in the kitchen there, making some food for the patrons, and let's just pick up where we left off. Guys, sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes while I entertain you, and let's jump right in. Alarm sound, you're up, and let's go. Oh, right. The specials for today. Grilled, Poniard, and Caesar salad. You said to yourself while searching for the ingredients at the pantry. It's quite daunting since this was technically 4 dishes in place of 2, but it turned out to be straightforward, or so you'd hoped. You ended up charring the prawns a little, and you made quite a mess trying to figure the side dish out, but at least you didn't toss a terrible salad. Cassian's good at tossing salad now, is he? Now onto the spaghetti carbonara and baked quail. You scratched your head while reading from the recipe on the board. Alyssa makes the best baked quails, and I don't think I can ever live up to that. Just as you feared, you probably have overcooked the quail, and the pasta was still a little tougher than you'd like. But overall, there was no major harm done, and surprisingly enough, you found both dishes quite tasty. Perhaps you'd done a better job than you thought. You glanced at the clock to see that about 20 minutes had passed. This order alone had taken up quite a bit of your time. It was pretty slow, given that all the ingredients had already been prepared and only the cooking part was involved, but you felt like your progress was steady, and the food came out better than you'd expected. And then again, the instructions Cody left at the board were very detailed, so much so that even someone inexperienced like you could pull it off. You quickly returned to clean up the stations after serving the food to your first customers. You were curious about watching them eating, but you couldn't bring yourself to see them judging your food, so you spent the next minutes doing the dishes. Eventually, you noticed the couple leaving, so you came by to collect their payment and clear the table. As you came back to the kitchen, you quickly counted the sum purely out of curiosity. Much to your surprise, there was a bit of an extra. Given your clumsiness, you would assume they must have overpaid, but the prices are written there on the menu clear as day. So as unbelievable as it was, you've received an actual tip. Can't wait to talk to Cody about this, but for now you pocketed the extras and put the rest into the lockbox under the counter. Soon after several more people came in with relatively simple orders, you repeated the process all over again for the next hour or so before Cody eventually returned. Oh, welcome back, Cody, you greeted the bear as he emerged from his room. Hey, Cassian, you've been working hard, I see, he smiled, giving you a shoulder pat. You told Cody about the extra coins you got after you're done with your current task, and his smile grew even brighter. Ah, so you got your first tips. You can keep it and spend it on whatever you want, of course. Consider it a perk of working at the Honeysuckle. Keep up the great work, Cassian, and I'm sure you'll get tipped even better. You could see his eyes flash with pride and glee as he patted your head. I see. I was only following what you and Ashford have shown me, so I'm surprised things are going really well so far. Ha! Nonsense! Our instructions might have been there to guide you, but you did all the work on your own. You should be proud of yourself, Cassian. Now let's get back to work, shall we? Right, so what should I do now? Well, we're running quite low on sides for our grilled menu and garnishes for our pasta menu. So it'd be great if you could chop up some vegetables right now. Okay. You grabbed a handful of vegetables from the pantry and prepared to chop them with the... Vegetables are chopped with the... utility knife. You seemed to struggle a little more than you expected before Cody briefly reminded you of the chef's... chef's knife. There we go. You were still a little clumsy with knives, but you felt like you were slowly getting better. You also noticed Cody smiling at you as he observed for the moment you felt quite at ease. After just a moment, all the vegetables along with the herbs and other spices have been prepped and ready to go. Cody still did most of the work, though. Okay, looks good. I'll go prepare the sauces now. The sauce? But aren't there already some in the pan, Cody? There are, but not all of them can be used like that. Some can't be stored for long as they need to be made fresh on the spot. Here, come and watch closely. I need you to be able to make these if and when I'm not around. He quickly grabbed a yellow egg and cracked it open. Then he separated the yolk into a bowl and with an orange-colored fruit juice from the fridge. Take 1 egg yolk and mix it with 2 tablespoons of carrot fruit juice. But remember, it's carrot fruit juice and not carrot juice. You see, carrots have 2 edible parts that might confuse people who aren't very familiar with it. There's the fruit that is quite sour and has this citrusy fragrance, and there's the root that is usually big and fibrous, but is sweet and very watery instead. The root is usually diced, small cubes for salad, bigger chunks for soup or stew. So be sure to keep this in mind. It will help you a lot in nailing the sauce. Got it. Now, you just whisk away with them with your hand vigorously until the mixture thickens and doubles in volume. Then place the bowl over a saucepan with barely simmering water. Notice that the water should not touch the bottom of the bowl. From there, just keep whisking rapidly. Remember not to let the eggs get too hot, or they will get cooked and become scrambled. kept a close eye as the bear worked on the sauce in a flash. And then slowly drizzle in some melted buffalo fat while you whisk. You don't have to go fast, but do keep the movement consistent, otherwise the sauce will split. Once the mixture is thickened and doubled in volume again, take it off the heat and add a touch of salt and smoked paprika powder. And that is how you make a hollandaise sauce. Cody said as he admired his handiwork for a second before placing it back on the counter. Whoa, I see. I'll try my best to memorize it, he said, but couldn't help the feeling like you missed a step or two. The whole thing was quite mesmerizing to you, like those late-night cooking shows that you used to watch when you were younger, but always struggled to remember the details afterwards. No pressure, Cassian. I'm sure you'll get it right. And even if you didn't, consider it practice for next times. Ah, that's right. You can always adjust the seasoning at the end, so it's very important to taste while you cook. Here. He handed you a small spoon, and you took a little bit of the sauce with it. This is pretty good. You closed your eyes, trying your best to savor the taste. It was very creamy, sweet, and a bit tangy. The smoked paprika certainly gave the flavor a bit more depth, but the buffalo fat really added to the savoriness of it. Overall, it was very well balanced in terms of flavor. I'm glad you liked it, Cassian. The bear smiled at you while pouring the sauce into a bottle. Now, I need you to make some while I go out front and prepare for the lunch rush. Think you're up for it? Yes, certainly. Excellent. I'll be back in a moment. As soon as he left the kitchen, you took the sauce bowl and cleaned it for the next batch. All right, come on, Cassian, you can do this. You took a deep breath and held your face for a second. Remember the instructions and the rest will work itself out. First, take an egg yolk and put some... Oh, fuck! The carrot fruit juice is sweet and savory. The carrot juice is... Well, fuck. Here, let me save this right here, and let me go back and see. And I can just load it. Alright, let's go back, guys. I'm not fucking this up. I will have that bear inside of me. No. Ah, what am I saying? Alright. There's the fruit that is sour and that's okay. Carrot fruit juice is not carrot juice. Take 1 egg yolk and mix it with 2 tablespoons of carrot fruit juice. Okay. Prefs. Load. Bing. Okay, alrighty. Carrot fruit juice. Then right after that, you whisk vigorously. And after that, you put the bowl over a saucepan that has barely simmering water, which should not touch the bowl at all. Can I leave it be? The egg is still raw, so it should be okay, right? Fuck, these instructions, man. Holy shit. Let's go back. Okay, what did he say? Okay, man, this is, I wasn't paying attention. 2 tablespoons of carrot fruit juice. Okay. Carrot fruit juice, okay. See the carrots, alright. There's fruit and sour, okay. Carrot fruit juice. And the root, okay, alright, so be sure to keep this in mind. Alright, carrot fruit juice. And whisk with your hand vigorously until the mixture thickens and doubles in volume. Then place the bowl over a saucepan with barely simmering water. The water should not touch the bottom of the bowl. From there, keep whisking rapidly, okay? Eggs get too hot or they will... Remember not to let the eggs get too hot or they'll become scrambled. Okay, that's a lot to remember. Holy shit, that is a lot to remember. Okay, carrot fruit juice. Alright. Whisk vigorously, okay. And leave it be. Nope, keep whisking. Alright. Oh, right, then you put the melted buffalo fat in. But how should I do it? Drizzle it. I think I should keep whisking until the sauce gets even creamier. That's also when you would take it off the pan, keep it on the heat, take it off the pan if it gets too hot. Yeah, take it off the pan. And then add the seasoning, which is salt and smoked paprika powder. Sounds about right. Let's do this. You clapped your hands in determination as you started working right away. You weren't exactly sure if you could replicate the sauce, but it seems you've somewhat nailed it. It sure still seemed to lack a few things here and there, but it didn't taste too bad and the creaminess was there. You quickly made a few more and filled the sauce bottle to the brim. Cody eventually returned after some time with a bunch of dirty plates, and a big smile bloomed on his face the moment he noticed the full bottle. Wow, you actually did it! I'm quite impressed! You do have a knack for cooking after all. He grabbed the bottle after dumping the dishes into the sink. Whether the taste is on point or not, I'll be the judge of that. He squeezed a bit of sauce onto his finger, then gave it a taste after spending a moment admiring it. Well, not bad, Cassian, not bad at all. The bear grinned as he patted your back quite hard. Thank you, Cody. I couldn't have done this without your instructions. Ha! No, but as I said before, all that is just merely there to guide you. You're the one doing all the work by yourself. I suppose you're right. Thanks again, Cody. No problem, bud. Say, it's almost rush hour now. You ready, Cassian? Yes, Cody. Good. Now get out there and give them the best service you can offer. He winked at that last, and you couldn't help but scoff while keeping a straight face. Understood. Lunchtime was here, and surely enough, lots of people and a handful of guildmates have come to the tavern. The seats were filled up with hungry patrons faster than you could count. You took a deep breath and kept Ashford's advice in mind as you served the customers accordingly. The sheer amount of people was simply overwhelming, and despite your best efforts, you still missed some orders. But because of how you handled the situation, they all seemed fairly understanding, and some even gave you a tip despite the long wait. You wouldn't want to admit that money was a big motivator, but the tip did help you carry on your service with a bright smile on your face. Yep. Tip your waiters, guys. After a while, you could tell the rush hour was coming to a close, and as fewer people showed up at the tavern. You took a small breather in the kitchen as orders began to come in and at a slower pace. Welcome back, Cassian. So how'd it go? Well, I would say so far so good. It was exhausting, but I can see why the work is worth it. I got some tips, too. Nice. I did say the tips would come in as long as you keep up the good work, didn't I? Oh, come and eat lunch if you want, Cassian. The tavern should be quite calm right now. It sounds good, but I need to serve this one lady first. He smiled as he nodded knowingly. After wrapping things up, you finally returned to the kitchen again for the lunch break. Cody was already at the table in the middle of the room, with 2 plates full of fried Yamatos along with chunks of meat and cheese. Here you are! You've worked hard, Cassian! Come, let's eat lunch! He poured some brown sauce over the food as you took a seat at the table. The food just looks delicious, Cody! Thanks! Don't be shy, dig in! He gestured towards your plate as he began eating. You decided to take a hearty scoop of the meal and took a bite. The fried Yamatos was the first thing that stood out to you, crispy on the outside but fluffy on the inside. The tender juiciness of the meal and the meat and savory sauce really made up for the Yamato's distinct lack of flavors. The creamy cheese also offset the strong flavors of the dish quite well. The way the flavors melded so well together was simply delightful, so you went through the whole meal in a flash. Ha! Here! Come get another serving if you want! Cody pointed at the bowls on the counter while he finished up his plate. All right, don't mind if I do. You went to take more food along with that special gravy sauce. The food was still delicious, but as expected, you're eating through it a little slower than the first plate. So, do you want to think of the tavern? So, what do you think of the tavern? Well, I like it so far. It's tough work, but the place is very lively. All of our patrons seem nice, and the food is splendid. The bear chuckled as you lifted a spoon of your meal for emphasis. Ha! But still not as good as what your rabbit lady friend makes, correct? Well, I mean, you did admit her cooking was pretty hard to top, even though Max always says he wanted to come here to eat your meat. The bear almost spit out his food as he scoffed, and you really wondered if you said something wrong. Oh, wow! You've only known him for a short time, but I can see his way with words has already rubbed off on you, Cassian. You were a bit worried there, but the bear seemed rather impressed at you, and you weren't really sure why. But still, very glad to hear that you fancy this place so far. Truth be told, I've been here for quite a while, and for the first few years, I was not very fond of it. Oh, really? I thought you owned this place all along. Not exactly. I may not look the part, but I started out as a janitor and the dishwasher of this old cafeteria. I worked my way up until the last owner left the place to me. I see. So why didn't you like this place at first? The bear seemed to space out for a moment as he hesitated. It's complicated, but let's just say that people used to like the cafeteria food, and I didn't either. It was dreadful, and that's still putting it lightly. Oh, so just like a typical school cafeteria food then. School? What is that? Basically an academy back in my world. I've never seen any schools as big as the guild here, though, and most people from my world hated this kind of food because it's often so bland and greasy. Something that you can only eat if you're starving. Ah, I see. I suppose that's not so different here after all. In fact, that was the reason why everybody preferred to dine elsewhere, either a restaurant in the city or grab a quick meal from the hawker merchants outside the guild. I was lucky to even have someone swinging by to have the free food back then. Oh, that sounds kind of depressing. I'm sorry, Cody. Ha! It's all right, Cassie, and don't let my sob story drag you down. He patted your back with a smile. Okay, you did make me pretty curious, though. Yeah, I see. It'll be a story for another time, though. Oh, all right. I hope I'm not being too nosy. I might be a bit slow, but I understand that it's not always pleasant to talk about your past. No, it's okay, Cassian. I think you're quite inquisitive, and that's a good thing. It means you're actually a fast learner after all. I'm glad you speak so highly of me, Cody. Don't worry about it. Now eat up. We need to prepare for the night hours. You went to the dishes after you both finished eating. Thanks again for the meal, Cody. It was great. No problem, Cassian. Oh, and don't worry. The lunch isn't coming out of your paycheck. Consider another perk of working under me. Wow, free meals? I guess I should have had more then. Ha! Indeed you should have. So remember to stuff yourself properly next time around. Right. I'll hold you to that. Both shared a hearty chuckle as you resumed your work. You smiled to yourself. Maybe you would enjoy working here after all. Things were a lot slower in the afternoon since there were far less customers at those hours. Cody decided to take his second naps for the day. Apparently, he would nap frequently throughout the day since he couldn't have a full night's sleep. So just like real bears, then. Cody chuckled at the thought as you watched him leaving the kitchen to take up another rest. You took your time sorting through the ingredients as Cody instructed, and before you knew it, hours had passed. Everything had been prepped, and the clock already hit 6 p.m. Cody also woke up from his nap about in time for the night rush. Hey, Cassian! Anything interesting happened while I was away? Nope, not much. Actually, I think nothing happened at all. It was mostly calm and quiet. Ah, I see. Fair enough. The bear grunted as he stretched. Well, it's nearly the end of your shift. The rush hour is still well an hour away. So, you can take it easy when Ashford gets here. Okay. At that moment, the back door swung open and you could see the snow leopard walking in. Ha! Speak of the devil. Good evening, Ash. Good evening, Cody, sir. Evening to you too, Cassian. Good evening, Ash. Welcome back. Thank you. How was your first day? Did you perform well, Cassian? Yes, actually. It was all thanks to your instructions and advice too, Ash. I even managed to get some tips. Oh, is that so? That's great. Keep up the good work, Cassian. You seem to be quite a natural. Thanks, Ash. I'll keep doing my best. Cassian! Cody approached you as he passed you a coin pouch. Your first paycheck is here! Ooh, nice. 600 coins. Nice. Thank you for your hard work, Cassian. You've done well, and I don't know what I'd do if you didn't decide to help me this morning. I'll see you next morning at 8. Try not to come in late, okay? Okay. You said with a bright smile as your heart was filled with overjoy. It was your very first paycheck, after all, which means all of the hard work has paid off. It was only your first day at work, but you felt so happy. Thank you for trusting me as well. I'll do my best from here on out. That's what I'd like to hear. Cody smiled as he pulled you into a bear hug, which was quite nice at first, but then you felt like you were getting crushed in his embrace. Cody! You whimpered, looking at the leopard for him, but he was whistling while purposely glancing away. Damn it! Eventually he let go of you, leaving you woozy for a moment as you tried to catch your breath. Thanks, Cody. See ya. Hey, see ya, Cassian. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Here. He handed you a meal box. For your dinner. Oh, thanks. No problem. You take care now. You waved back at Cody as you left the kitchen through the back door, before circling your way back to the main entrance. That was where you saw Max and a tiger walking side by side. The latter had his arm wrapped around the Malamute's shoulder. Max! You called to him as they approached the entrance. Oh, Cassian, how have you been? Looks like you've had a long day today. Yes, but things did go swimmingly, though. I even got tipped quite a few times. Oh, that's good. Working in restaurants must be pretty hard. But you not only survived, but also got tipped? I'm impressed. He gave you a head pat and ruffled your hair. You could already feel your tail flicking wildly again. Thanks, Max. So how was your day? Who's the little boy, Max? Oh, yes, Toby's new, Sprite. He looked to the tiger as he approached you both. Ah, that's right. Cassian, I want you to meet my friend, Toby. He's a fellow mercenary, and Toby, this is Cassian. He's new around here and wants to be a mercenary, too. Alright, I'm gonna pause it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!